Good morning. Good morning. I want to welcome you to Community Voice. Mr. Keith Parris' show. Mr. Parris will be joining us shortly, but I am just opening up his show until he is able to take his seat here at the infamous desk. Let me say good morning to the other gentleman in the studio. Hello, Devo. Hello,
Again?
Carvey.
That's usually
Did
reserved.
you say I'm trying to be professional?
Yeah, but
Like, could you
we've been with you all morning.
could you go
We've been
along?
with you since 6 o'clock this morning. Now you're talking about, let me say good morning too. Really?
If Keith was here, Keith would say,
It would be for
Good
him to do
morning.
so because he would just be getting it.
It
It wouldn't be for you, Michelle. Whom has been here
why must
since
you
6
mess
something this
up
morning.
everything?
Oh, you had a
This is
great
not my
introduction
show.
going to. Good morning, Michelle.
Respect
Come on, Carvey,
the
let's
community
go along with
voice.
it. Good morning, Michelle. How was your day? How was your day yesterday?
You know what?
Like I ain't seen
You ruined it. You ruined it. You ruined it. So as I said, folks, Keith Parris will be joining us shortly. I'm going to do something if I can while we're waiting for him to get situated and in the studio. There was a story that had come out about a 29-year-old black ballerina who highly accomplished, who died unexpectedly, and it really shook up the entertainment world in terms specifically of her particular industry, dance. It shook everybody up. Most recently, this young sister had been featured in a video that was done by Beyonce, the Lemonade video, and her name, Michaela DePrince. Uh, this is a young woman who had been in an orphanage. She is from Sierra Leone, and her parents were killed in political unrest in the country, and she was actually adopted by a white family and was moved here to the States. She had talked about seeing a photo of a ballerina, and this is young Michaela, seeing a photo of a young ballerina when she was very, very young. And she talked about, I think she said she was as young as 3 years old, the impression that that picture had made upon her. And so she never forgot it. She wanted to always learn more about dance, but she just talked about how gracious and how beautiful the ballerina looked. And it was something she always had in the background. Her adoptive mother pays attention to this whole thing and decides to place her in classes for ballet. Michaela becomes so phenomenal as a ballerina that she is able to attend and study ballet at Jacqueline Kennedy Onassis School of Ballet before joining the Dance Theater of Harlem in 2012. She also danced for the Dutch National Ballet and joined the Boston Ballet as a principal soloist in 2021. So this young sister is accomplishing things that are like phenomenal for her age and background. So her death, which was confirmed back on Friday, September 13th, took a lot of people again in this arena by storm, or shock. But the thing that's also just come out, while we were sitting here waiting for Keith, that came out is that her mother, the adoptive mother, died within 24 hours of Michaela's death. That her mom was going in for a routine surgical procedure and ends up passing away, not knowing that Michaela had just died hours before her. I mean, before her surgery, her procedure. And they said that the mom had lost three children prior in different situations. And so family members in releasing their statement said, in some ways it was a mixed blessing that the mother ended up passing away, not knowing that she had lost a fourth child. So the craziness of this whole thing. I hadn't had a chance to talk about Michaela's death on my show yet. I plan to do it this week on the midweek flow. But when her mother's news came through, but just to be thankful, as somebody who has worked in social work, I would tell people who would raise brows about who would adopt certain kids and who did what. Rather than have these kids grow up and age out in the system, I was always thankful when they got a home, when they had people that loved them and adopted them. So, hats off to both Michaela and her mother, Elaine DePrince, as we remember her memory and what was done for this young woman who could have otherwise been left to languish in an orphanage. With that, I just want to say that the host of this show, Mr. Keith Parris, has arrived. Hey, Keith, what's happening?
Good morning, and apologize for being late. I had to take Kennedy to school this morning, and I made a left when I should have made a right. And so I had to go.
So you had granddaddy
west.
duty?
Yeah, I had to go west to come back east, then to go north. So,
Well, not a problem.
That construction over there, boy. Anyway, so I'm here, Michelle. Thank you. Good morning, everyone. Wanted to thank everyone for joining us this morning. Debo, Carvey, Michelle, again and again.
More than welcome, bro. Have a great show.
Well, I appreciate that. Phone lines open 414-444-5250.
Should I turn her mic off now?
444.
Oh, that's what we
My policy.
like literally,
You know,
you got me low down immediately.
there is a
Forum
forum
out the room yet?
tomorrow.
A forum.
Yeah, the NAACP is having. Let me.
Oh yes, they are. It is. You can attend in person or virtually.
Oh, virtual. It's going to be at
the
Pilgrim Rest.
Pilgrim Rest.
Yeah.
I think 6 p.m.
Right.
Where the political parties have representatives that are coming to talk about the parties.
Are you coming?
I don't know.
I don't know.
Look, dude, I'm behind on everything I got going on in my life. But yeah.
My life in
sung
the
that?
sunshine.
Oh, I was going to
Do-do-do.
That's Roy Ayers. Isn't it?
Yes,
Yes.
the sunshine.
Yes, it is.
Do-do-do.
Oh, here, by the way. That's yours.
Oh, yeah, you got man, I know you used it. You got
Yes.
some different spices.
Really?
This is a different one. He's mastering the formula. He's doing some different things.
Oh my God. Can we publicly say thank you?
Yeah, Big
Yeah.
Tony, Big T.
What up, Big T?
Seasonings,
Rub.
rub.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a little different than marinade. I'm gonna hit you with it every time I get a chance.
Carvey, what is your mom listens?
I'm glad you finished that off that way. I didn't know what you were about to
I
say.
said, your mom, does she listen every day? She beating up on her child every day.
Does she know why? Do she know why I'm saying marinade to you so much? But yeah, Tony, I again, I tried it on some catfish before I put the batter on.
Okay.
Very good. Did some half of chickens this Sunday, as I was telling you about.
Yeah.
That was my seasoning. I didn't put anything else on it. Turned out awesome. Actually used the mop setup that you gave me and mop my chicken and everything. I felt real bougie. I felt real bougie this Sunday, man. I mean, I was
thinking about that last night.
Did you grill the chicken?
yeah, oh yeah.
Oh, you grilled
yeah.
it?
What
Okay.
what is this thing about people being bougie? And we do this once a week where we're going back and forth about who is the bougiest.
It's you. What
It's
else
you.
are we talking about?
It's you.
Why are you even bringing it up?
It's you
What
because
what is this thing?
what is this
You know
thing?
what the thing is.
It's this
It's
thing
you.
about the being bougie.
You are, Keith.
No, I'm not.
Stop. I mean,
I am I'm a proletariat. I'm
Oh my
I'm for the peoples.
People's,
With an S.
With the S. With the S.
you and Carvey. It's
We
for the peoples. With an S.
And I'm down for the peoples.
You Carvey and Debo. With an S.
Because what was it yesterday? I could vacation if I didn't spend so much on my shoes. You know how much time you spending on my shoes?
I do know.
we-
Let me out of in my closet.
Oh, wait, was you trying to imply something about your wife's closet? Were you
Hey,
in
look,
my closet?
in my closet. I'm
Sound like you was
the
trying to
one,
say
the
something.
one closet I have because all the other closets. I bumped into a former coworker of mine who is a listener And so let me shout out Brother David Polk. Got a chance to
Oh,
talk to
I
him.
love
David?
David.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Remember the bird?
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
yeah.
love David.
So we talked, and he was telling me he was doing corned beef and what his recipe was for corned beef, and so I'm leaving the store, and he said, "Don't forget me, Eric."
That's a good one. Oops.
Do I sound that much like that dude?
Not at all.
Right, he doesn't.
You don't look like him either.
Not at all.
Oh yeah, if I had that book, that little bit
Eric
beard.
had that silky smooth.
Oh, that's cold.
Not at all.
You don't think? We're riding in the car this morning, and thank you, man. It is production around here that makes us sound so much better than we actually are.
Really?
And so we're in the car, and the NAACP spot is running.
Oh, you like that spot? You think
Can
it
I
sounds
finish?
good?
Can I finish?
Damn it.
Comma. This mother.
Yep, that's where she was going.
I'm trying to finish. I tell people there wasn't a period. It was a comma, semicolon. So we're in the car. And yesterday, Debo and I were listening to the spot. And I complimented Debo because it really was engineering and production that made that spot sound the way it sounds.
Oh
So-
my God. What the lady say?
So
I'm
we're in the-
dying, waiting
so-
for the story to be told.
Here he goes again.
I'm losing years.
We're getting older. We're getting older waiting
But
here.
part of it is the interruptions. And I can get it out
There's no time
uninterrupted.
for that. Keith, we don't have time for that.
Yeah, we were doing this without commercial breaks.
He just
He did.
Flicker
He
me
did.
off.
He did.
So anyway, we're in the car, and Kennedy was working on something she was doing in the back seat, and she looked up, and she said, "Poppy, is that you I hear?" I go, "Yeah, baby, that's me. That's me. Thank you, Debo. Thank you, man.
You think she would not have recognized you? If
Probably not had it not been.
Had
it not been.
You know what?
You
He
know,
Had it
just
not
wasn't.
been.
we only sound as good and as the talent that we have, and I think we have an awesome team here.
Oh my God, y'all both are killing me right
No,
now.
we do.
We're talking about you.
Y'all both. No, you're not.
Yes, we
No,
are.
you're
We're
not.
talking
You-
about
Y'all
you.
both
you're
are
in the
killing
number.
me right now.
You're in the number.
He just wanted somebody to know his grandbaby heard his voice on the radio this morning. That's all that little story was about.
Do you have to trample over everything in my life?
That's all that little
Can
story.
anything grow in my
That's
life?
all that
Can
little
you
story
stay
was
off the
about.
lawn?
My grandbaby
Trampling
heard
my
me
grass,
on
man.
the radio this
I
morning.
mean,
Dude, just
every
come
time I
in.
try to come
You know,
up,
the production
you come.
crew here is so amazing. Just
You too. Can we all just get
phenomenal.
along?
My
Oh.
grandbaby wouldn't have known it was me if the production
She
crew
heard it
here
before, but
wasn't
thank you.
so amazing.
Thank you, Debo.
You know,
Thank
he
you,
just
Debo.
wanted
Wait,
somebody.
did he just-
Thank you, Debo. Thank you.
Wow.
Ignore the woman behind the
As
curtain.
opposed to me, who will
I
just
asked
come in and say,
That's why I
Atlas
asked you,
heard me
should
on
I
the
turn
radio
mic
today.
off?
Oh, man.
Oh,
You were like,
my
oh,
So let me
God.
ask you a question, champ. Uh, how many takes do you normally take in order to do a commercial? How many takes?
Let me turn my
It
mic
depends
off.
on if I wrote it or if somebody else wrote it.
Okay.
If I wrote it, 1 to 2. If somebody else
Because
wrote
that
it,
I
17
just
to
finally
35.
listened to the midweek flow
yeah,
promo.
yeah.
Oh man, look at Kendrick Lamar.
I'm just laugh one more time, Harvey.
But she
Laugh
wrote-
one more
she-
time.
She wrote it and she
Yeah,
She
there was
knocked
some
it out the
rhymes
park.
in there.
Oh,
And
yeah.
I'm going, look at the girl got skills.
You are so. Yes, Hater Nation. Yes, it's Hater
it's
Nation.
not even Friday.
Yeah,
I'm gonna do Hater Nation Friday. Debo, you gotta find the intro music for that. We do
What
have
are you gonna do? Oh, you hadn't been doing it in a
I
while.
hadn't done hate. Well, I hate every day. I admit that I hate
Said the
every day.
pastor.
Oh man, I'm a hater.
Keith, let me just check so we're certain. Is this the intro for that? That's enough. But that is it, right?
Is that?
Thank you, Homer Blow.
That's the intro for your show.
Yeah.
That's
Hi,
the intro
hater.
for the segment. Hi, haters.
That's for the haters.
For the haters.
And somebody had the nerve to call here yesterday to my y'all messing with Keith. I got a bone to pick.
Yeah. There, I am a victim.
What is it, Michelle?
He know.
No victims.
He know.
Just what?
Just volunteer.
He know.
Thank you very much.
You heard him finish it himself.
I love that. And she went Augustin on us. Talked about the unjust aggressor and how the unjust aggressor forfeits right to life. Man, I'm getting my money's worth for philosophy.
You know what? And I see.
Man,
Again.
I get this woman
Always showing out.
cites Augustine.
Always showing out.
I don't know. I don't know what the other.
I never even.
I don't know what
connected.
the other stations have to offer, but the intellectual girth.
Oh, boy. Oh,
Why you say
boy.
girth all hard? Why you said all hard?
Is there a way you're supposed to say girth? I
it
mean,
was just the intellectual girth, but it was girth.
girth.
Like why you
Yeah.
said all hard?
Because I'm trying to get the sense of the magnitude of the talent level here.
I think that was a shot at someone who may be listening in other places. They don't get the girth.
No, that was a
that we
shout
get
out.
here.
And how big somebody is. Girth references.
It's the
How
platters.
big somebody
It's the
is.
platters,
So-
Coke.
So
Carmen, you gotta watch Sanford and Son to understand this. If I didn't care for you.
so let me ask a question then. When you
the piggy ring.
when you spoke to Keith's use of the word girth, would that be like in comparison to your use of the word to me in one morning, as which you referred to me as having layers? Layers.
I didn't mean to trigger. I didn't think girth was
It don't take much. It don't take much.
trigger.
All these on the couch
You cannot.
like bros up in
You know,
here.
nobody
didn't
should be
take
calling
much.
defending anybody around here because we all get our
It
shot.
doesn't take- I don't take shots.
Wait.
Are you getting loud?
And you don't lie either. What else don't you do? I don't take shots.
On people.
I don't take shots.
I don't.
Oh my
And
God.
I'm offended.
Oh my God.
I'm offended at the insinuation.
You go after you go after. Oh man, you just
I
tough.
don't take shots.
I don't know who's tougher, you or DJ, because you don't give
She
any
is.
passes.
She is.
You don't give any passes.
DJ just gave a pass a couple weeks ago.
Who
Yeah.
DJ gave a pass to? What?
Who was it? It was.
It was a
Oh, I gotta
pass.
know.
No, but he had also given passes
he
to.
been giving deep
uh,
passes.
He gave passes to the adults who were tripping on the candy at
Right,
Juneteenth.
Yeah.
How do you pass that?
He was saying they could be diabetic.
Oh, he needs to stop. No, he didn't. No, he did not.
Yeah, he gave a pass.
DJ did that.
He used that,
He gave
yeah.
a pass, man.
I think we need to change that
Whoa.
promo. There'll
He
be no
would-
passes.
He would give his grandmama a pass. We were talking.
He wouldn't or he would.
He wouldn't. We were talking about the.
But he gave the people at
he-
Juneteenth, the
the
adults
older
in the
people.
candy.
They could have been. Yeah.
But he,
They could
Oh
be
man.
diabetic.
Oh, flu shots today.
That's what you
are
agreed
you about to get one?
Yeah. You gonna get one?
Hell.
Let's go to break.
They just die. I don't care. Just die.
I was like all the black people. You get sick after you get the shot. I get that shot.
That yet last week I just told him. Hey, my doctor told me they gave you the flu from last year. That's exactly what I told him last week. Michelle.
I was fine. Got the flu shot. Been sick every day since.
My auntie, she would never go to the doctor. Boy, I don't go to no doctor. Go
Oh,
to the doctor, they give you something. You'll be sick when you leave out of there.
oh, wait, she don't go to the doctor at all.
She don't go nowhere now. They found her behind the bed. She was stuck over there behind the bed, dead. She was.
Carby said, "Oh my God."
She was wedged in-
See what happens?
Yeah, she wouldn't go to the doctor.
See what happens when you don't go to the doctor. Well, anyway, today on Be Healthy Be You, I will be getting my flu shot. And next week I just have my wellness checkup, and I'm going to get my COVID shot. I don't know if I want to do shingles. I think
Oh,
shingles-
I did shingles because my
shingles
mother
in
had
5 years.
shingles.
Yeah.
I don't wish that on nobody.
Yeah, my mom had it.
had it too.
Yeah,
mom had it
oh,
too.
and my mother had permanent like the permanent symptoms.
Right.
So periodically, I mean, I'm talking about like months after she had finally healed. Well, my mother looked like she had third-degree burns going
Right.
down the side of her neck. We had an IV pole at the house. I had to go home. I think I went home for almost a month to help my mother with
Yeah, because
shingles.
I know
I
my
hurry up
mom
and
was
got
saying
my
it was
shot.
like you don't
My
even
2
want
shots.
nothing to touch it. You just oof.
She was
Yeah.
in so much
So
pain.
much
I'm
pain.
telling. It looked like she had been in a burn unit.
Wow.
It was so bad. So it's 2 parts. I went and got both of mine. Can't get you. Can't
So you
catch
getting
me
your
with
flu
that.
shot today?
Huh? We back to that.
They out there and waiting. We're
They out
waiting on
there.
it. Yeah.
Look, they put their gloves on.
Yeah, they putting the gloves and masks, gowns.
You-
I thought this was a flu shot. Got the surgical gear on.
They doing a Tuskegee experiment.
put up the curtains so they
You can put behind the curtain.
I mean, they look serious.
Oh, they
Oh,
ain't
man.
even laughing. They
Oh, man.
No.
No.
Look, she
Oh,
got
did
the
she got gloves on? Yes, I'm telling you.
oh boy.
This is legit.
It's serious out there.
Dude.
And she throws thumbs up.
Let me hurry up and get her down.
Hey, Michelle's coming right now.
I'm
Juliet
going out-
Brendan, don't let her
I'm
leave.
going out the side door. I ain't even going out that door. I'm going out the side door. Have a good show, Keith.
Thank you for covering me. For no problem. You're listening to Community Voice. When we get back, we're inside. Be healthy, be you. We'll be right back.
and if you have insurance, you can shots free at CVS.
Yeah, you get a COVID shot?
Got it Friday, and I got the flu shot at open on.
Yeah, I'm
CVS.
gonna get my COVID shot. I have a appointment with my primary next Monday, so I'll get a COVID shot.
I know Michelle ain't as old as us. Y'all getting older. Take care of yourselves.
Oh man, real talk, man.
And I'm gonna mess with Devo because I know he said he didn't have it. I think get your prostate checked, Devo.
Yes, sir.
All right. God bless y'all.
All right, man. Appreciate you. 414-444-5250. 414-444-5250. Okay. I guess, Carvey, can you do me a favor? Can you check and see if they're ready to come in? Thanks, man. Oh, man. I've been good, man. I've been good. I fell asleep on the Eagles last night. They ended up losing
Yeah, they did.
to the Falcons.
Yeah, it was interesting. With a minute and some to go.
Yeah.
He come that man. You talking about a 2-minute drill? And it wasn't even 2 minutes left.
I
He
ate
came
late.
down.
You know, I ended up eating late. So, wow. Y'all let her not get the shot?
Well, we stopped wrestling people.
You stopped wrestling?
So you guys were giving out shots and you forgot about?
No, we stopped for you.
Oh no. I'm good.
Oh, so that wasn't the
Michelle-
truth.
I thought Michelle said you guys didn't bring enough.
Oh, just teasing.
Oh.
No, she's just lying.
No, I told Julia, bring extra.
Oh,
We got Carvey here too.
Can we get you to get a flu shot, Carvey?
I think I got one.
You think you
What we got the spade of lying going on?
It just keep on
I said I
rolling.
think.
And where would you have gotten it from?
Probably my primary care.
In the last
Oh, check
couple
that
weeks.
out. Oh, check that out.
In the-
My primary care.
in
What's
the
your primary
last couple
care's
weeks?
name? Dr. Sue.
You know, we just started giving them this year. So you've been there in the last couple weeks?
No.
No. My guess is you probably didn't get a flu shot. I could look it up though.
What would I be? A volunteer?
No,
A
you don't
vendor?
have to do that.
Okay. Are you sick today?
No.
No.
So you got to sign paperwork?
Do you
Well,
have
we
an
put it in
allergy
the
to a
immunization
component
registry.
of
I
vaccine?
thought it was
No.
saying in case
Have you ever had a
die,
serious reaction to influenza?
we are not liable.
influenza?
Mid-June.
Next,
Have you ever been
next of kin.
diagnosed with
Yeah.
Guillain-Barré? Trust me, you haven't, because you would have been paralyzed and in the hospital. So I doubt that you've had Guillain-Barré. Mm-hmm.
All right. Keith B. Parris.
B?
Yep.
What's the B stand for?
Beautiful.
Oh,
10.
Yeah, right.
9. Today is the 16th.
Keith Bob.
Bill.
Keith Bob.
Keith Bill.
From the great state of Mississippi. Keith Bob.
Keith Bill Parris. It's Keith Bill Parris.
Bob. I was watching a movie. Guys say, "Yeah, my name is Jim, spelled with a G."
My name is Gim.
Could be
So-
G-E-M.
You got a middle?
Huh?
You got a middle?
Yes. My parents are from Mississippi. So
Great
let's,
state of Mississippi.
Oh.
let's start with that. So
Alice.
I am Brenda
What's the bandages
Sue.
for?
Sue.
Brenda Sue.
Brenda Sue.
Lord have mercy.
Right. That's what I say. And my cousins down south, that's what they call me.
Sue.
Brenda Sue.
Brenda
Oh, they
Sue.
call you the whole
They-
thing.
Yeah.
Brenda Sue?
Oh,
I'm
Brenda
like,
Sue.
oh my gosh.
Good. When the last time you talked to Brenda Sue?
That is. That's what they say. And when I see him, hey, Brenda Sue. I'm
Lord
like,
have
oh
mercy.
boy.
Is that a Southern thing where they call you by both of those
Yeah.
names?
Mhm.
Oh no, when your mama call you by your whole name,
Billy
Oh,
your
Bob.
whole
You in trouble.
government
You done
name.
did something.
Oh, you. We got a lot going on over here.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Julia's trying.
She's juggling the needle and everything over there.
She's got to do
Shaking.
her. She's got to do her whole routine.
It's-
I don't know. Can somebody else give me the shot?
you mean,
So Keith
you-
is
you-
presently getting ready to get his flu shot.
Carver, you got the camera zoomed in on this?
All right.
You already got a red dot right there. What
That's
you been
right.
doing?
What that? Yeah, she's gonna have to go a little.
You
little
looking
bug
like
bite.
a red dot.
Extra
You mean
shot?
where I get a red dot from?
Is that
What?
Galen Barrett?
What?
Man,
No,
that
that's
thing
not
long.
a beret.
That thing
It
long.
did not hurt, Keith. Oh my
Right to the
goodness.
bone.
It did not. She
said
does not.
everything that people say.
That needle is not long enough to go to your bone. Now, if you were skinny winny, yes, but you're a grown
My
man.
mama went in and had some fluid removed from her knee.
Uh-huh.
I left the room.
Oh, that's
When
a
they
big
pulled
needle.
out that needle. I was like,
Well, you know, I've been getting knee injections every week,
okay.
and
You conducting
it's a big
yourself
needle.
like a phlebotomist over there. Because
Okay,
you hit
she
him
got-
with
look at
that
her. She
thing
know-
and
she know what
she
doing.
done.
That's what we
She
do.
look like she doing
Yeah, but
shit.
I was planning on leaving the room. It
you
happened
didn't
so
have-
fast.
you
I
didn't
didn't
have
even get to leave the
time.
room.
Well, we could do it again on you.
No. I'll watch you do it on Carvey.
Let me encourage people to get your flu shots.
Yeah, you may as well. You
should.
just got yours.
He's gonna
Uh,
take it.
yeah.
Carvey,
Yeah, after the show.
after the show.
No,
Okay.
he's lying then.
Right.
He really owe
He's
y'all
gonna go to
anyway,
the
because
bathroom
doesn't he
and not
take
come
you over
back.
in the room and have you do, what is it, Tearful Tuesday?
Oh yeah, Tearful
Thank-
Tuesday.
Tearful for him. Thankful Thursday. What is Tuesday? I know Thankful Thursday.
Thankful Thursdays.
Taco Tuesday. What is
Taco
it?
Tuesday.
I would like Taco Tuesday.
It's
We
who?
were talking, I was talking to
Oh,
Debo.
truthful.
One of the best Taco Tuesdays ever was this place called Who's on First?
Mm-hmm.
Down on First and National. Oh, their Tuesday and Thursday tacos was, and then they did 2 for 1. It didn't matter. Anything
wow.
in the bar,
Wow.
2 for 1.
Wow.
And man,
I still like McBob's.
I'll make my arms. You
Back
like
in the
that?
day, I haven't had it in a while.
They call it a burrito, but I don't know. It's I guess it's a burrito.
Size is what I guess would dictate
I
that.
mean, it's interesting. You say they don't cook in the front anymore.
Yeah, because typically you go in now.
That's
everything
where the
comes out
charcoal,
back.
that grill for the
Right,
burgers.
right.
Yeah.
You got to look like she done did some work today.
She has.
You through for the day?
No. Doing blanket of love.
Oh, I guess I should have. Here's her mic supposed to be
Oh
on.
yeah. Let me turn it
Okay.
on.
You blanket of love.
Blanket of Love tonight, where we're going to teach the moms how to do CPR and prevent choking for their children.
Okay, is this at Ebenezer? Where's this
Hopefully
at?
they
Ebenezer.
hopefully
from
they don't
5:30
choke.
to
Tell them
7.
the-
Yeah.
That's that's a
5:37.
different kind of choke.
We'll have a
different.
firefighter there.
Uh-huh.
What is he?
He's a paramedic, I think,
paramedic
or
there.
EMT, one of the two.
That's going to be training them. So, because you never know when children are going to choke.
Yeah, they can get items stuck.
Yeah.
Oh, sure, and you know they
They're
put
always putting
everything
stuff
in their mouth.
Right.
My buddy in college, we had a snowstorm, so we weren't really in school,
Mm-hmm.
and we had a school bar. So because we weren't going to have class the next day, I guess the school bar was
Lit,
rocking. Oh
yeah.
man, and we got lit. So we're going back, and I never did this, but him and no, I didn't. Him and Buck and Mark, they would wrestle all the time. So he did something. He started running. We had all this snow. Buck ran into because we had these terraces, ran into the terrace, broke his leg. So some of us trying to be junior paramedics,
Oh,
we go, get a garbage can and put his leg in the snow, right?
Hmm.
okay.
That's what we did.
Okay.
So
And
the paramedic comes,
Mhm.
and Gettysburg, they ain't got nothing else to do, right? This is big time. So they get a call, one of the few calls they ever get. And the guy looks, and Buck is shivering. I don't know if he's shivering from the pain or from
he's in the snow.
The snow. Dude put a flashlight in the garbage can and go, oh yeah, that's broken. Oh, shit. We told you it was broken. Great, we. So I thought that should we have done that?
Well, I wonder why did you put it in the bucket? I guess to stabilize it so it
panicked.
didn't move.
We panicked.
They were
Okay.
drunk.
Oh, okay.
Drunk. Remember I told you,
Right.
and none of us were pre-med.
Yeah, that's pretty
Boy Scouts.
Oh,
yeah,
Boy
yeah,
Scouts.
pretty obvious here.
So
Splints.
and he's just sitting there.
I know that's
shivering.
what I was wondering is were you thinking putting it in the garbage can would keep it from moving?
Would you do a split?
Yes. You don't want it to move. That could cause more damage.
Yeah, this
So.
guy, God, he plays for the Chiefs.
Oh, so you didn't cause damage.
Buck limp for the rest of his life.
He had a limp.
Yeah.
Y'all crazy.
Now, I don't know how much of that was his military service.
That's
Buck limped
funny.
for the
Thanks to us. Hey, we saved the leg.
We
saved
put it in
it.
a garbage can, and that's how we saved it.
Which is really interesting because we were so close to Gettysburg and the battlefield. And when you think about the number of men who actually died from infection for things
Mhm.
like broken legs, and they would amputate in a
Oh,
minute.
sure. In the field, they'd
In the
have
field,
to.
they just cutting off limbs. And
Mhm.
but yeah, Buck ended up he did limp for a while.
Mm.
Because that happened, that would have been his junior year. Yeah, that was his junior year.
You see, he ended up playing NFL.
No, he ended up he did military. He was
I
ROTC.
thought I heard him say he played for the Chiefs.
No, the guy who played for the Chiefs Monday night, Pacheco, broke his leg.
Mm.
And you could tell when how
Oh.
it was bent back.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
That's pretty
when
bad.
he-
Yeah,
I saw
that was So he is, what is that, fibula? He broke his fibula.
Could
so
be.
yeah, I mean and the worst ever was Joe Theismann. And Lawrence Taylor. Because it was just like
Yeah. The worst is when you see the bone, when it breaks and the bone comes out of the
to
skin.
the point where
Those are-
everybody remembers Monday night game, and Lawrence Taylor said it was the worst thing he had ever seen in football. I mean,
Mhm.
because it is, the bodies are contorted, and then the mass. You talk about 300, 350 pound men. I mean, this
Mhm.
is
They seem to be lighter now. But you
No,
don't see as
No,
many
no.
heavy.
it's just
muscle.
Oh.
but they are. I mean, I'm amazed at what some of them weigh.
Yeah.
It just blows me
And
away.
how big they really are. The
Mhm.
uniforms make them, and television makes them look real small.
Mhm.
No, these
Dude,
are some big.
These are some big human
dude.
beings,
Mm.
man. It was if you look at these are big human beings. And now you got physics going on because you have the unmovable object, the unstoppable force. What happens, just the force, and they use a term in football called he tackled with violence.
Mhm.
It is a violent
Very much
sport.
so.
I mean,
Well, and you guys, not only are these guys weighing a lot with all that muscle, these guys are 6'5" and above. I mean, these are some big men.
you're a left tackle, you at least 6'7".
Mhm.
I recall when Mr. Willie Davis, Packers, the last time they won by him being an alumni,
Mhm.
he also got a Super
ring?
Bowl ring.
Okay.
So I got a chance to try his on, and he would wear it on this finger here, and it wouldn't fit my thumb.
Mm.
Yeah.
He's just that big of a
These
guy.
are big men.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
you don't realize that because again, television makes everything seem small. It's
Well,
in
and
the
they're all
box.
big out there. So there's not, I mean, there's some of the wide receivers, but even now wide receivers are,
6'2", 6'3".
they're big too.
Big.
Um,
And not just big, they're fast.
they
Yeah,
are, they are. Well, that's because they train, they're so muscular.
yeah. I mean, you got
I trained too.
you train too.
Yeah.
Football for me.
Yeah. Armed them
Well,
out.
that's the other piece of it. The health conditions that a lot of these men face. We're not even going to talk about CTE, but it was like Muhammad Ali was saying, as a heavyweight, you train, but part of a heavyweight is your diet.
Mhm.
So you have to give up all this stuff that you would normally eat. Well, you're not training. What you going to do?
Right.
You're going to eat
Right. Not to mention the damage that's been done to the knees, the
to
hips.
the knees, the joint.
There's they are a lot. I remember I met Reggie White, and the first time I met him, I was in person I'm not that big, I'm 5'4". I was astonished at how big he was in person.
man.
That was a big man.
Yeah, I mean, it's you don't think. And again, and that's what makes it so fascinating and amazing when you watch the athleticism that you're able to use that kind of weight and move. But it's kind of going against nature,
Mhm.
because of the stress that, as you just said, you're putting on the joints
Mhm.
and the breaks that you have. There was a guy.
Well, just saying that now that they're more athletic, though, that benefits them because they have more muscle, so their joints and hips aren't as stressed as when they were just really overweight and they didn't have a lot of, muscle to support those joints. Now, so they're better off, but it like you said, it's just so violent. I mean, the hits. I mean, as a wide receiver, I'd be running real fast too, because when you get hit,
especially coming across the middle.
yes,
And dude, there was a guy Sunday, I don't know what game I was watching, and quarterback threw was a little bit off. But they said dude made a business decision because he saw the defensive back bearing down on him. So he was like, I ain't gonna catch this one.
Yeah,
Oh,
that's
man.
my life.
This is man. They talk about that, or don't be 190-pound defensive back, and now you have this guy Henry, who's like 250 as a running back, and this dude
That's
is just solid.
huge for a running
that's
back.
big, man.
Yeah.
I mean, it's so. And then the other thing is, as you move up in levels, you know, I every Saturday over at Lincoln Park, all these kids are playing.
Packed.
It's packed, man. But the kids who get to the next level, and then you're in a city like Milwaukee where football is not big. But if you go to Florida, you go Mississippi, Texas,
yes,
football
those
is
southern
big.
states,
The
It
whole
is.
city come out for the
Whole
Oh,
ci-
yeah. I mean, high school stadiums are
10,000
huge.
seat
Yeah,
stadiums in Texas for a high school game. You
and
know,
they,
because
they sell out.
oh yeah, I mean it. And then for some of these towns, that's it. They don't
Yeah.
have a pro team.
Yeah,
You know
that's-
that, and they put a whole lot, and they invest in it. You have school districts that are suffering, but they're investing in those football programs. So, yeah, I think when you look at it, and that becomes the question: if I had a son, would I let my son play football? You know,
I would highly discourage it. But I guess I don't know that I would force him, but I would certainly highly discourage it. My son broke his collarbone in soccer because, you know, soccer can be fairly, and they have no pads. They have nothing. And I was there at the meet when, you know, he hit the ground. Everybody heard the crack as he's laying on the ground. It was,
that's not the one you.
that is the one when the trainer called me out on the field after they had assessed him and said he has to go to the hospital. His collarbone is broken. I'm like, huh? Specialty nurse here was like, huh? And everything got real tunnel like, and I was out. So yeah. So then they drive the little cart out on the field. They lay me in the back. They have my son in the front trying to hold his arm in position while they're driving us off the field. Oh.
She's a professional.
We knew that. We wouldn't have called her. Meet us at the hospital.
I know.
Get yourself together.
And then they're like, should we call an ambulance for both of you? I'm like, no, just let me sit here for a while. And I've seen some rough stuff, but when it's your own child, that was a whole man. I'm like, I'm sure not only was it my most embarrassing moment, but you can imagine my child.
And they rolled you
And
on.
he was, and he was in high school,
Wow.
so oh yeah, you know, he was quite proud of his mother.
Wow.
Yeah, she's a nurse. Yeah, that's my mom right there.
And that, you know, we talk about when we play youth sports, our parents, it was a different world. Our parents didn't have to get us to the games, right? So they were never there. And kids loved it. You hate it when your parents came to a game, you know, because especially like middle school, because middle school, that's just when you first start cussing and stuff. So you know, we having a great time, and then you look up, is that your mama?
And she's looking at you like, I heard what you said. It's just,
when I
give you
get
that
you-
look. Like,
Oh my God. Oh man, but the mothers, and that's the thing. Now this has been the shift in primarily youth football. It's the mothers who are getting the kids to practice, right? It's the mothers that are getting them to the game. So now you have an influence, and I don't know how to feel about this in terms of mothers getting involved. NFL is running a commercial where the mother's the coach, and the little boy runs out, her son, and she pushes him. Trying to, you know, what they call them nutcrackers. He runs out, she just throw him down. It's like, wow, but the moms are there. So I say it all the time, the kids are better geared than we were. You know, I mean, if I could just get a pair of cleats. These guys are wearing the same cleats that the dudes are wearing on Sundays. You know? And the compression is really funny to me because you don't have anything to compress.
not yet, right? But they got it on.
Your little muscles.
The gear.
Yeah, I took Kennedy to the park last night so she could ride the bike. And it has training wheels. And the one thing I noticed, she doesn't ride a bike a lot because I say, you got to work on your leg strength there, babe. You
Mhm.
know, but, and then she's so independent. I got it as you wobble and almost fall.
She's got a helmet on.
Oh, no, we couldn't, her hair is too big. So we have to get her a different helmet because she said it was hurting her. But I think
Oh.
she just didn't want to wear the helmet.
Oh yeah, kids don't really like those. They try to get out of it. But these youth sports now are so violent. I mean, the families, the parents. My niece, who's just turned 13, she plays basketball. She plays AAU, and they were in Atlanta last weekend. And I don't know. They're young, but they ended up playing an older team, a high school team, and they beat them. They're really good. And so as they're walking through the line to shake hands or whatever they're doing, the high school girls just went in for them.
Oh.
The stands emptied. Everybody's
Where were
fighting.
you, Brenda?
I wasn't. My niece she filmed the whole thing, half of it, and then somebody else, and then a grown woman was fighting my Lily,
Oh.
and my Lily she's 13 now. And she's my heart. But a grown woman was fighting her, and Lily was like, I was like, oh my God. But
Lily was giving it to her.
She was. And then my niece ended up pepper spraying the lady that was
we're
beating,
talking the AAU basketball
yes,
game.
girls AAU.
Oh, man.
But it's like some of these games that I'm at, I hear the parents, they're just the stuff they say, they do, some of the kids are embarrassed. And then some of the kids act out because their parents are acting out. But a lot of those young people, they're embarrassed because their parents are cutting up, calling the coaches names and the refs names.
Yeah.
And, that's why it's hard to get refs now, because that ref that was killed. Was that last year?
Yeah.
I think that was a AAU basketball game.
Oh, they showed the fight they had in Indianapolis. I mean, it's, and maybe the parents just shouldn't be there. Let the kids just go in and have fun, because it really really is fun. I understand people see it as, oh man, my son Keith is going to play pro. Keith's probably not going to play pro. And then the kids have an outside sense of their talent. And like I said, all you have to then do is go, once you graduate from high school, just go to a junior college and see the talent level. Me and my buddy, we were talking about the Badgers got killed Saturday by Alabama. Well, if you look at Alabama, everybody you see out there playing is going to play on Sunday. I'm talking about dudes on the bench that you don't even see playing. That's how talented
That's
team
the caliber of players too, they can pull in there.
Right. And Wisconsin's going to have to change their recruiting mode. I know somebody put on Facebook, because Wisconsin, their whole thing was get the big corn-fed linemen.
Right. That's what we used to do, and it used to work.
It worked, but
Doesn't
the
work
world
anymore.
changed now, man, because when you look at those defensive linemen and how quick they are, even though they're big, you got to come up with something. So, it was. And I just preached about it Sunday. Goliath wins about 70% of the time, maybe even higher percentage than that. Every now and then you get a David, but David's the exception. Goliath is the rule. If you're bigger and stronger, faster, you're usually going to win.
Yeah.
You're inside Be Healthy, Be You, as we just had our sports moment.
Yes.
We're going to take a quick break. Let me, Miss Julia Means, Miss Brenda Buchanan. My back is hurting. Hope that sciatica don't kick in.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's because you got that flu shot.
We're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back. shots.
Yes.
If you're over 55 or 50, you should be getting your shingle shots.
Yes.
And I just want to mention that tomorrow at St. Joe's Hospital from 10 to 3, if you come in the main lobby off of Chambers, we will be in there doing free flu shots tomorrow from 10 to 3. No need to
say that quickly
pre-register.
3 times. Free flu shots.
Free flu shots. Free flu shots. Free flu shots. Free flu shots. Free flu shots. Free flu shots. Got me. Finally got me.
No appointment necessary.
No appointment necessary. 10 to
Walk in.
3. And yours truly here, Brenda, I will be giving you your vaccine tomorrow. So, yes, at St. Joe's Hospital.
And if you don't know who you look
And the
like,
main lobby
just
come
ask
in
for
there.
Brenda Sue.
Yeah, right. Don't you dare. They'll be like, who's that?
I'll be looking for Brenda Sue.
But you will be in a little office area over there, but we'll have signage up, but you can also ask the front desk and they'll just point you. We're right there in the lobby.
What part of Mississippi you people's from?
Okolona, which is about 20 miles from Tupelo.
Way down.
Okolona.
Half a mile
You can
north of
walk
Wapello.
everywhere. That's right. Yeah, in Chickasaw County.
What's some names she just said?
Man.
Chickasaw, Tupelo.
It's amazing how
Okolo.
many indigenous native names that you see there, and they moved all those people out.
Mm-hmm.
And we said Chickasaw.
Chickasaw.
Yeah, they moved to Oklahoma.
Mm-hmm.
The Seminole, the Cherokee.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they tipped Trail of Tears.
Very
Stole
much
their
so.
land, but kept their name on it. Usually, you
Mhm.
steal something, you change the name.
You
Right. Right. Don't change
That's a
this
good
up.
observation.
Right.
There we go again.
It's always
You lie on me, I'm gonna kill you. You steal it, you change your name.
had the decency to at least change the name. Nah, we just gonna remind you we took your land.
That's
Yeah.
right.
That is, I don't, I become so ambivalent. I acknowledge the heritage, how we got here. And I wonder what the world would be different, how different the world would have been had we not had what we saw in terms of expansion to the Western Hemisphere and the introduction of enslavement
Mm-hmm.
and what the world had been different. It's the only world I know. We were having this conversation about how I think it was Doc Rivers that said that we love America, but America don't always love us.
Mm-hmm.
And you kind of feel that, in terms of, just trying to work your way. And then it gets into, because it's so systemic, we're still dealing with the health disparities.
Mm-hmm.
And it's all these different things. We're going to have a more negative outcome just because I lived experiences that, we always say that is what we eat, how we eat, what we eat,
Where we live.
where we live,
Mhm.
all those environmental things that, you you try to be mindful of, but there's a lot of stress.
There is, and I encourage everyone not to read any comments in the Journal Sentinel or when they post articles and you read the comments. They're so racist. It's just heartbreaking to see that the things that people say. It's just automatic. It's just easy.
And and a lot of this is because obviously there's disparities. I mean, there is no getting around it as much as you want to believe. On paper, we're all equal. Our outcomes are not.
Mhm. And we're really not equal. I mean, we're certainly not treated as equal. Depending on where you live, you have different opportunities.
But it impacts our health.
Absolutely.
For sure.
I mean, it
Mhm.
really does in terms of, and I think maybe people, I would say that poor white people are having those experiences too.
Mhm.
It is somebody yesterday, I mentioned hillbilly, and just, full disclosure, one of my favorite books is in my top 11 is Hillbilly Elegy by
Mhm.
J.D. Vance, but what he chronicles, I close my eyes. I'm saying that's my experience, right? Because they're just talking about the impact. And one of the health issues that they dealt with was this issue around Mountain Dew tea.
Mhm.
Can y'all explain to folks what Mountain Dew tea?
Well, it basically it's all that sugar and acid and has destroyed your teeth. And if your oral health is poor, it can affect the rest of the inflammation in your body, heart issues. That infection can be carried throughout your body. And so bad teeth aren't just bad teeth. They affect your whole body to the point that if your teeth aren't in good health, you're not going to be able to have an elective surgery.
Right.
An emergent surgery is different because they have to save your life. But if you're electing to have a knee replacement or something like that, and your teeth are really not in good shape, your oral health is poor, you have to get that together first before they can do surgery because the risk of infection is too high.
And you can't be put on the transplant list
Mhm.
if your teeth are not in good shape. So that's something that they really want you to take care of your dental work. Now, in the past, Milwaukee had good outcomes with dental because Marquette used to be free and you could go down there and it wasn't complicated and you can be seen in Marquette. So, I mean, even now, if I go to the dental, they'll go, who did these fillings, because Marquette was that far ahead and this was Milwaukee and we got free dental. But now it's bad.
Milwaukee could afford the socialism as a major city. I mean, that industrial base really buttress our tax base. So the things that the visiting nurses, like in Milwaukee, a nurse would come out to every newborn born up until the age of 5. They would track you down just to see what disease or illnesses were among young people. But that's a socialism. I don't think that now, because healthcare has been so monetized. I think that's the other difference. In the 60s and 70s, you don't have healthcare is 1/8 of our economy, right? So now it's the profit motive that's there. And even though a lot of the health agencies are nonprofit, they still are able to invest, expand. And so it's a different world now. If you don't have health insurance,
and medical debt is the number one cause of bankruptcy.
And that was one of the things and I think that, I don't know if this change was made now where your medical bills
can't be on your credit report.
Right. I mean, it's, and when people talk about, we'll talk about open enrollment, how people should take advantage of the Affordable Care Act, those premiums. And a lot of people don't know, I didn't realize this, the premium subsidies will sunset in 2025 unless Congress reauthorizes. And so that was because it's great when you have a job and you have health insurance. And depending on where you all work for healthcare systems.
Sure, we used to, Julie and I ran a free clinic just for that reason, because childless adults back in the day, I mean, there was really, especially once they did away with GAMP.
G1Os.
When they did away with GAMP and then they opened it up, they made this statewide program. They didn't anticipate, they looked at Milwaukee. They didn't anticipate the poverty in the rest of the state, the amount of people that would qualify for this statewide program. So then when it happened, you had 200,000 people on a waiting list, so it was still impossible to get health care. So we had the free clinic to tackle, for African Americans mostly, what those chronic diseases were that really, that if we could deal with those would make a big impact on their life.
And when you see anecdotal evidence of, there are people who are younger than me, but they look older than me. And a lot of that has everything to do with the morbidities that they're dealing with in life, and we'll manage them. And because you're not going to die instantly until you get to the point now where you have all these chronic illnesses and they've stacked up, and then something, man, we always get back to it. I guess this is going to be a reference point for us, I guess, going forward. Then we get back to COVID. And
they didn't survive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I was going to do something that, and I think I still will. I tend not to put a lot of personal stuff on Facebook. First of all, it's nobody's business, and then I know nobody cares.
Mhm.
And so, but I was just sitting here this morning, and I was thinking about my friend Ron Banks, and I said how much I miss my friend Ron Banks. Well, it was like November of 20. And it's going to be 4 years.
I know, isn't that crazy?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, right. And I hope he got a chance to vote. I didn't even think about because, we would, we had started doing this with the Obama first
Mhm.
election. He's going to make sure this,
Mhm.
this crossed the track. Right. And so we be talking and the whole thing. And so that night that history was made, I was talking to Ron Banks.
Mm-hmm.
And so 4 years later, when I tell the story, I will do this now. If you're calling me, Julia, and we're having a conversation, I'm in the car, I'll drive. I won't get out the car. Because what happens is you get disconnected, you
Mhm.
may or not. So never forget, it was a Saturday. I'm calling Ron. It was the Saturday before the election in 2020. Hey, Ron, we're going to do what we normally do. He said, hey, Keith, I'm in the hospital. I got COVID. I'm like, oh, okay. And so he was, people give you their whole medical sheet, right? So I had to get through that. And then we talked for 2.5 hours. I didn't know that'd be our last conversation,
Yeah.
and we talked about everything and everybody. And, but I thought about this, and it was one of those things where it was emblematic of what was happening. Once the virus had pretty much left him, he was so depleted that he got a lung infection, and he couldn't fight that lung infection, and he
Mhm.
died. So it's COVID related.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
And at the same time, which was crazy, I'm dealing with sciatica, and we got COVID, so I can't even get out there for the funeral,
Mm.
And then they did a graveside, because people still weren't
Yeah.
going into churches, and so we have to take better care of ourselves, and it's incremental. I mean, you're not gonna, like I was talking to a guy. I don't know if I told you this last week. Talked to a guy, and he told me, yeah, I did mention it. He told me he had died. He'd been dead for 2 days. But part of his epiphany in death was he came up with this whole nutritional thing. And he went plant-based and the whole thing. And so he's talking to me about it. I'm going like, dude, I would have to retrain my taste buds though. I'm
Mhm.
kind of used to what I'm used to. So if you can do incremental things about your diet, and Oprah came, she said, I came to a conclusion. I'm going to get in the best shape I can be in at this point in my life.
Mm-hmm.
People in their 40s, 50s, 60s, even 70s, you want to go back. You're not never, you're not never,
Not never.
you're
Mhm.
not never going to go back to 26 years old
No.
and the
No.
physical condition you were in at 26 years old.
No matter, and even no matter how good you look on the outside, you're still dealing with aging organs, aging joints, those things. You can't stop that.
Right. And so, and then it's the randomness of life.
Yeah.
What's your genetic background? If
Mhm.
you have people who, I'm fortunate to come from a family of long livers.
Yeah.
Long livers
Long
as opposed
livers.
to the short
Yeah.
livers.
Longevity.
Longevity. But then at the same time, this is how random life is. You could be in the best physical shape of your life and walk outside, get hit by a car.
Mm-hmm.
The hockey player and his brother.
That was
Yes.
so sad.
And then come to find out, dude he was barely legally drunk. He was
Wow.
0.087
Enough to be though impaired.
legally,
Yeah.
right?
And both of their wives are pregnant.
Mm.
Yeah. So the one, she had just found out. She said they had like a couple weeks of knowing that they were pregnant with their new baby, because they had 2 other children. The other brother, this is him and his wife's first child. So now these 2 women are both pregnant at the same time.
Circle of life.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
I had did a little research. I was preparing a presentation, and so one of the things about having a trivia mind is that you love trivia, right? You do research, and And the amazing thing, and I haven't looked at it lately, and maybe I will, and I'll do it as a cleanup either on Friday or do it next week's program. In Milwaukee County, the number of deaths equal the number of births.
Mm.
Now, I don't know how that works.
Mhm.
There have been exceptions. Obviously, COVID years is gonna
Right, more deaths.
more deaths, and then the other thing we're dealing with now is the drop in the birth rate, right? That America is at zero population growth and it's getting ready to be negative population growth. So but that was amazing. So I don't know how much that is nature,
Mhm.
that balance that you have where
Right.
kids are born, people are dying, and it balances, and it might be some, maybe 100, 200, but if you're talking 15,000 people born, 15,000 people die.
Well, my blanket girls, they having babies. they having a lot.
But
of
we didn't
babies.
have the baby boom from COVID that people thought
Thought
we were going to have,
Mhm.
that because we were so in close quarters with each
Mhm.
other.
Well, there are a lot of young people that are choosing not to have children.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And so a large number, I think, beforehand, a lot of people felt like that was just part of it, or they were, but they are finding partners that are like them, that are like, we don't want to have children. And you see a lot more of that, not feeling the pressure of having to have a child. They're like, this is just not what we want to do.
And I think that the good thing is, and maybe we're slowly, almost glacial speed, changing the roles and expectations of women.
Mm-hmm.
Because the childbearing and having kids is one of the things that we're putting on women, right?
Mm-hmm. Still is primarily the woman's responsibility.
Right. And so but you're looking now where people are more mindful of that. And I think that, if you can take control of when you have a child, you put yourself in a better position, at least materially,
You do.
to take care of a child.
Mm-hmm.
Now your emotional piece of it, that's dependent on some things.
I have 3 young ladies that have twins, and that's unusual to have
That's
that
a
many
lot of
twins.
work.
What, the twins?
Yeah, especially when you don't have any support.
I went to a middle school that had so many twins.
Mm.
It was so many sets of twins. It would just be identical twins, fraternal twins. It'd be like, there's a lot of twins at this school.
Mm-hmm.
I'm fascinated with twins. I think twins is one of those things that just talks about just how expansive our existence is, and try to get people to understand that there are exceptions to most biological rules.
It is.
I saw a young lady yesterday, and her daughter, I don't know if she was fully albino, but you could tell she could. That's an exception, man. I mean, it you see it in nature,
Mm-hmm.
like the white tiger.
Mhm.
Sure.
They're rare
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
And special.
because of their rarity.
Mhm.
Yeah, I mean, you. So we need to understand that, and it becomes scientific. Somebody told me yesterday. I was trying to explain. I was asking a question: are we as close to the Civil War as we were in the 1800s? And I'm going back, just doing a little history on that. And the person said to me, well, I'm aging. Listen to you try to explain who to get older.
I wonder who that was.
Yeah, I'm going like, wow. Try to bring a certain level of gravity to what we do here. But no, I mean, I think that, and not being a person who was really strong in biology, chemistry, I'm still really amazed and fascinated by it. I'm intrigued by how all these things. And then there are people who I read a very fascinating article on this idea of, is there compatibility between the Bible and science? And they were primarily talking about creation. And I'm thinking, okay, well, I argue that they're in different lanes, but there's some people who we cannot. I mean, you work for an organization that was part of religious outreach in terms of health,
Mhm.
and how the Catholic Church views this whole idea of health,
Mhm.
and from conception to the grave.
Mhm.
And it's fascinating. So that theology, that approach to living has impacted certain countries where you have, especially if the Catholic Church is strong, there's certain laws out there. I'm moving more comfortable to the position that maybe it should be doctors who determine what is medical. I was listening to someone on another program, and she was saying that the Democratic Party can't even define what a man or a woman is. And we talk about transgender stuff, right? And it hit me then. I don't know if this is an epiphany. Maybe the Democratic Party, maybe the Republican Party, maybe the Catholic Church, maybe the Baptist Church should not be saying what should happen medically to people.
Mm-hmm.
I'm because if then we were talking about the people want exemptions from flu shots, for example, and they cite religious reasons, or there are people who cite religious reasons for not getting a blood transfusion. You put doctors and medical staff in a tough situation because your charge is to preserve life, right?
At best, you know of. You're doing the most scientific thing that you know
right
to do.
Right.
And some people would say, I'm going to choose my faith.
That's bad. And look, and I'm in the business. That could be a bad choice. And I think that sometimes we have put piety, but if the Creator created everything, that would be inclusive of knowledge. That would mean then that let's always make the argument that, and I said, so if I go into Dr. Patel's office after he's done blood work and some other things, and Dr. Patel, the first thing he does is say, you might want to pray about this. I'm in trouble. How long I got? Just first book he pulled off the shelf
is the Bible.
Is the
Like,
Bible.
We're past his medical expertise.
This dude, I took my car in to get service, right? The dude pulled out the calculator. I said,
No.
I said, is that bad? He said, well, you see me doing all this. I think it's pretty bad. My mom had a medical, my mother, boy, she is so funny. My mom had a medical situation, so we had to call the paramedics, right? And they always ask you how you doing, right? I mean, that's what how you doing? And my mother said, not too good if you're here. They asked her at the hospital, she said, not too good if I'm here.
That's right.
Obviously, there's a problem here. But no, I mean, I think, and that discussion is such though, but when I go in, I'm amazed at how good our healthcare system is. If you get in now, there are going to be some people you're not going to say, but for the most part, many of us go in and we walk out, and then the doctor would tell us, well, if you do this, then you will live. Now we know that's hard because I've been doing that
for 30
years. Now you telling me I need to do this in order to live. And so I don't know if my brain needs to, how do you get to that point where
well,
you're
I
more
think
open to
that is
healing?
that is a lot, for some people when you're talking about changing your whole lifestyle, so usually, if it's an emergent situation, that's one thing, but Julie and I usually try to help people choose something to work on. You can't do everything all at once or you're overwhelmed and you just stop doing it. But what is a change that you think you could make right now? And what can we do to help you get to that?
Baby steps.
So, right. And so then once you've got there, like, we had one diabetic, he drinks like 3 or 4 2 liters of Mountain Dew a day. Okay. That's kind of low hanging fruit. How can we, how can we cut that back?
The problem with that Mountain Dew is the caffeine.
Oh, sure, it's addictive. Then that affects their blood pressure too, their heart rate, and their diabetes. So all those chronic diseases.
St. Mary's Hospital is on that hill. right by the lake because they took care of
Soldiers.
the sailors
Mhm.
that
Yeah,
were
sailors.
in the boat because Milwaukee wouldn't let them in the city because they had so many diseases. And so the nuns risked their lives to take care of them. And that's how that's why the hospital was built there. So when you talk about health and religion, it does gel together because a lot of the religious a lot of the hospitals are religious were started by religious people, and at that time taking care of the ill and the sick, you putting your life at risk. And even with us, I mean, because we went through AIDS and we went through a COVID and other diseases. So you do have a spiritual belief that you're going to do good, you're going to do well.
It's Matthew 25.
Yeah.
When I was sick, did you visit me?
Yeah.
Did you
Mhm.
provide me with comfort and care? So, and that to me should be the driving point. Well, we can pick this up after the break.
Okay.
You're listening to Be Healthy, Be You, Miss Julia Means, Miss Brenda Buchanan, Ascension, Wisconsin. We're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back. off the air. But again, we were just talking about this intersection between religion and health. But the good thing is that you see more churches
Mhm.
now making health one of their
They are.
priorities
Mhm.
in
They
terms
are.
of their well,
Mhm.
because my congregants are dying.
Right.
Mhm.
You
Right.
know,
Right. I ain't getting none.
I ain't getting-
And I think ministers are more educated. I shouldn't say they're more educated about healthcare issues
Yes,
now, so they know how to counsel and what to say when they go to the hospital to visit. And
and I don't want to be a hater, even though I am a hater. There was a religious groups, 5 major Black denominations, who came together in terms of COVID and encouraging people to get vaccines. Bishop Shear
Mhm.
was part of it. There was a group of Baptists that were
Mhm.
part of it. I think a group of Methodists that were part of it. I think you're right. The educational piece of our leadership and education goes beyond just the formal. I went to college and then I went to seminary and divinity school. I think you have a responsibility to know as much that's going on
Mhm.
in the world because the world impacts your world.
Mhm.
Mhm.
We're not these little isolated
Right.
vessels out there. We're all interconnected based on our humanity, based on a whole lot of things, but be able to have that where health then becomes an issue. And I understand again, let's say if you're of a particular religious persuasion, you don't smoke, you don't drink, right? You don't do drugs. But then you have food, right? And so the reason why you shouldn't have been drinking, you shouldn't have been smoking, shouldn't have been doing drugs was the impact it has on your body.
Mhm.
So you stop doing those things. And now because we still want pleasure,
Mhm.
right? You gave up sex. So what becomes a great replacement for sex?
All that good food.
Good food, man. I mean, it can. And here's the thing about food: it ain't arguing with you.
You're right. Right about that. No
Get
expectations.
no expectation. You don't have to call them tomorrow. You know?
There when you
Just
need them.
terrible. Just, how they say, just cherubim.
Just, so it could be because, man, I could, especially for me, depression was food.
Mhm.
It wasn't
Oh, yeah.
alcohol, wasn't drugs. It was food.
And
man.
it is for many people.
Man, I mean, you just sit there and go like, oh, but my mom and I were having this conversation yesterday. And she says, but you know what? Look how far we've come. We went from if we're going to eat
To overindulging.
to what we gonna eat. And your
Right.
biggest existential decision of the day, well, I'm gonna eat for dinner today.
Mhm.
Because we can eat pretty much anything we want to eat.
Yeah. And now that you're talking about it, it's in my head. Like, what am I cooking for dinner?
Right. I mean,
Yeah.
but
Right.
but there, look, and we weren't sitting there like always. It was rare, if ever, that we were hungry, right? But there were some lean times.
Mhm.
And so, it wasn't like, hey, Mom, we doing T-bones tonight?
Yeah. We doing
And those
hamburger patties with oatmeal in it tonight?
Yeah, to stretch it.
Yeah, to stretch the meat.
Stretch the meat.
Mhm.
You do bread. That's why
Yeah.
people put bread in.
Breadcrumbs and things like
you
that.
stretch
So
the
that
meat.
you have, you can have a bigger burger, fill you up with less meat. Hmm? Mhm. Yeah, mix it all up.
Almost like a
and
meatloaf.
yeah, like a meatloaf, and fry up your burgers. That was what they did to make it stretch.
Make it stretch. My grandma would.
Hmm?
Yeah, it depends on the cook.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, my
And now
grandma.
they making burgers without meat.
That ain't a burger in my mind.
Yeah.
That ain't a
They do-
burger in my
they
mind.
do
I
all
don't. You
this
cannot convince
artificial-
me that a bean burger is as good as a hamburger. You can't convince my taste buds.
Mm-hmm.
Really?
Like miscellaneous meat.
What is miscellaneous?
Like you tell me.
Okay.
I think he's trying to say miscellaneous.
Okay.
Miscellaneous.
Oh, miscellaneous. What's the same
But I still
thing?
want to know what
What's
miscellaneous
it,
right?
is.
Got a little
Right.
bit of this, a little bit of that.
Oh, we used to have something at Mount St. Mary's called what was it? The surf cake. Now that's not a crab cake. That's a surf cake.
Mhm.
So all the bits of fish that they didn't use, they
They
ground
it
up,
up and made a
breaded
patty.
it, and made a patty, right?
And how did it taste?
What they call it?
surf cakes?
Surf cake.
I only ate one.
That's how good it was.
That's just how good it was. Never on mine.
To your point, you got to be careful what you eat because they trick you with the word. And
Yes,
stuff,
they do.
like tenders and I'm not saying that
Thank you.
I'm not saying that it's not chicken, but I'm saying
It may be chopped up chicken.
But a boneless chicken wing
Tender.
is not a chicken wing.
Mhm.
And there's a guy who sued.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he did.
Remember,
It was a
because-
restaurant.
right? Sued a restaurant,
Mhm.
right? Because it really is chicken thighs.
Yeah.
Mm.
That's what the nuggets are.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Mm.
So
Yeah, but tenders is breast meat, isn't it?
right,
Tenders
tenders is
are.
different.
Mhm.
But when they be telling you that you're getting these boneless chicken wings, they're not chicken wings.
Oh, yeah.
So know the difference. And I just think BW3s just went to thighs
Mhm.
because during COVID, wings were almost like
Well,
Non-existent.
yeah, and even during a couple years ago during Super Bowl, you couldn't get any wings.
But the
You
bird
know,
flu, wasn't it?
I don't know. Well, I don't
That
probably,
might have
but
factored into it.
yeah. And
Yeah.
back in the day, really, we were the only ones that were eating the chicken wings.
Not anymore.
Not anymore. Everybody loves chicken
Well,
wings.
it's,
But growing up, that was, we got the chicken wings. So we loved chicken wings.
well, what was it,
Like
Monday?
oxtails, though, that's a very expensive meat now that
Yeah.
nobody was eating back in
Yeah,
the
but
day
I
with
know
us.
they're good
too.
as a mug.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
You know something I haven't had since I was a kid? A
What?
neck bone.
Neck bone.
You haven't had a neck bone?
And had a neck bone.
Haven't had it since he was a kid.
Oh, man,
How is it
yeah.
that you live this and you don't eat greens with neck bones in it or anything?
Our greens are usually smoked turkey.
Mhm.
Oh yeah, that's right. That's the
Yeah.
bougie.
Bougie. No, it's
Mhm.
healthy.
Healthy.
Where did the oxtail come from?
Oxtail is
Where did people start eating?
we
Oh,
made
they've been
oxtails
eating it back in
forever.
slavery time
Used to
when
be
that's the
cheap.
only thing you could get. They
Yeah.
gave you that,
And then
the wings, the guts, the stuff like that, the
made a
tongue.
delicacy.
Those are the things that we ate because that's what they gave us.
Now, Brenda introduced me to turkey burgers,
They're good.
and
I
they're
like turkey
they're
burgers.
quite
Mhm,
delicious.
mhm. Especially if you make your own. They're really delicious.
And you did turkey
Ground
meat
your own
for
little
the tacos.
Mhm.
You ground them or you just talking about cooking them?
No, just cook them. Just get ground
And I-
turkey and mix whatever you want in.
And I
make your own
had
patties.
oh, okay. I just got a text.
Mhm.
Keith, can you ask the sisters? What's up, sisters?
Hey,
If they are familiar with jackfruit.
yes,
What is jackfruit?
it's a fruit. People use it as a sweetener a lot. I mean, it's an ugly little piece of fruit.
It is. They got it down at Pete's. Down at Pete's.
Yeah,
What does it
and
look
I know
like?
they do use it as a they
Ugly.
make like a fried jackfruit, as opposed, so it doesn't have the meat and stuff like that.
Never heard of it.
Mhm.
I've never heard of it.
Yep,
either.
I'll show you a picture of it.
Oh,
got
okay.
But
bunch
they
of
use
stuff
it.
down
You
at
go to
Pete's you ain't
restaurants
heard
and
of.
see jackfruit.
Yeah. Wow. Well, I think our
Does
di-
it taste good?
It's okay. I mean, it's
Nothing to
not
write
something
home
I'm gonna be
about.
cooking at home. See,
What-
like you see here, they've got things made out of it, sloppy Joe material.
I'll go back. They do
um,
sloppy joes with jackfruit.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's his cue. Sloppy Joes.
Last week,
So
was it
that's a
Monday?
jackfruit.
What's today?
Oh.
Tuesday. So it was last Monday, right?
What?
That's a jackfruit.
Okay. It looks like
Kind of look like a pineapple. if you-
pineapple. Look, what is the other pomegranate? Look.
Oh,
it's just
with the
not
seeds
purple?
in it?
Yeah.
Fresh whole jackfruit.
Mhm.
We were talking about last Monday though. What were you saying?
I was talking to. She worked. A young lady had the McDonald's franchises,
Oh yeah.
and we was talking about when McDonald's decided to do fried chicken, did chicken wings, which were actually very good. But they took a bath. They took a real hit because
Wow.
why would I go to McDonald's for chicken wings? It's like why
They
would I
had
go?
chicken wings at McDonald's.
Yeah.
Because they could fry good.
Well, I think the way they prepared them, that could have been the other issue too. And I don't think that they were just moving them. You know, Keith was in there buying them, but you know, Keith is addicted to.
Hardee's had the best chicken, man.
They did have good chicken.
You
They
remember
did.
Hardee's chicken?
Mhm.
Yeah, Culver's.
They did.
Dead
have
Oh,
fried
they,
chicken,
yeah,
too.
they don't have chicken anymore, do
Yeah,
they?
no.
Yeah, but
Mm-mm.
I'm talking about Hardee's had the pieces like the breast, the wing, the leg.
That was
the thigh.
Culver's.
Yeah, Culver's did
Culver's
too.
Culver's
I
did, too.
remember.
I didn't know that they got into the pieces.
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
they don't now. They
Yeah.
just have the
'Cause-
strips or whatever
Two
and
piece
sandwiches.
Two piece.
2 piece.
No, please don't bring 2-piece back up.
2-piece and a biscuit.
Let 2-piece rest in peace.
2-piece biscuit. That's your government name? Yeah. My mama named me 2-piece. You know, our last name was Biscuit, so it just made
Right, just yeah, there you go.
it made perfect sense
Yeah.
that we would. Yeah, I mean, chicken is wow, and I'm a Baptist. That is our national bird. I won't speak for Koja, but I think it's pretty
Yeah.
big in
I
Koja
think it's
too.
pretty
It's a
big in
lot
Culture.
of edifice, if you will.
I'm saying
that chicken dinner
built on the
built
bones.
A lot of churches.
Yes, they did.
When they do the
Mhm.
cornerstone, they should also do a little burial piece. We put some chicken bones in
It's
there.
over there.
2 pieces remain. This is 2 pieces remain. This is a burial spot of
Yeah.
2 pieces. But
Case you
2
wake
pieces
up,
is the reason
remember?
why we got this building here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
At Metropolitan, when we built the Ephesus on 14th and Burleigh,
Mhm.
my pastor did not believe, my then pastor did not believe in selling anything in church.
Mhm.
He
Mhm.
believed your tithes should cover. If you tithe, you don't need to sell anything. So for many years, you couldn't even have a ticket program at Metropolitan, right?
Mhm.
Because he didn't believe in that, and it just became part of the
But
tradition
there's
there.
something biblical about selling.
Yeah,
in
and there
churches,
was other churches I know that don't allow selling of any
There's
goods
something in the Bible about
Yeah,
where
he
they wouldn't
knocked
allow
over
with the
the
selling.
marketplace, right?
Yeah.
Y'all don't want to hear the story behind that.
Yeah,
do
you go ahead.
Yeah,
for it.
go
I mean,
ahead.
you know,
You
enlighten
sure?
us.
You sure? Because I don't want y'all to
I do
age.
You
That's right. I'm aging every
put
day.
2,
so-
3 years on your life me telling this story. But the money changers,
Mhm.
what happened was there was an agreement that the Jewish authorities had with Rome,
Mhm.
right? Rome would respect the temple.
Mhm.
The second commandment, thou shalt not create a graven image.
Mhm.
So on Roman currency, there was a picture of Caesar.
Mhm.
So they couldn't let that go in the temple. So what they would do is they would be, what do you call it when you go international, when you convert money?
Oh yeah.
And so they had to convert the Jewish money, I mean the Roman money, into coins that then they could use to go in to purchase their doves for sacrifice, if that's what you're doing.
Mhm.
And that was the other thing. And they were charging them exorbitant rates in order to convert the money. That's what Jesus was pushing back on.
Okay.
That you were basically exploiting people because of their desire to worship, right? These are devout people. I come to and especially when you get to Jerusalem, that's a big deal, right?
Mhm.
That is the mother temple. That is, everything comes out of that. And so that's what he was pushing back on, that people were being ripped off by the money changers, you know, the rates that they were charging
Mhm.
in order to change it. Well, we keep going, and then a few
So
years
it wasn't
later,
necessarily about selling of the goods.
Right.
It was about the corruption and them
The corruption.
cheating people.
cheating people.
So
And
you didn't enlighten your at that time, Pastor, as to what that was? Because I'm sure that it was
I was like-
predicated on that.
I was like 9.
Oh, I'm sure.
And as brilliant as I was at 9, I dare not go to Dr. Kelly and say, I have a theological concern here.
You
that
may
I'd like
have-
to share with you.
And you said you were 9?
At 9. At
Well,
9.
you
Like
probably didn't even know at that age.
I had no clue at that age. I remember the story,
Mhm.
Mhm.
but and that's the other thing that I try to do as much as possible, really get people to, because we have a tendency to mythicize
Mhm.
these things that we see, but when it comes down to it, it's everyday, day-to-day thing that would be typical day-to-day during ancient times are what we're dealing with now. Like they tell the story of Zacchaeus. I hope I'm getting his name right. He was the guy that crawled up in the tree, and he was a tax collector and the whole thing. Everybody talks about how he made his way to Jesus. What no one talks about as much is what he did after the encounter with Jesus, because what he did was refunded everybody plus interest.
Mhm. What he took.
What he took.
Mhm.
That's the story behind Zacchaeus. He got up and, because black people always get, like the woman you talk about, the woman, the issue of blood. If I could just get to Jesus. Okay, now once you get to Jesus, there's just something happen after you get to Jesus. It ain't just you getting to Jesus, right? And I'm saying this, once I get to the hospital, once you get to the hospital, you have a responsibility to follow the directions in order for you to get better. It's the same thing. So if that encounter with Jesus didn't change your life, you might have dealt with your momentary situation, but Zacchaeus, we need to talk more about that. And maybe that's kind of where Creflo Dollar was when he came out after all these years of saying, maybe I got it wrong on the whole name it, claim it, prosperity piece.
Oh,
He did.
Yeah. But
Really?
then somebody asked the question, are you refunding? If you're wrong for 30 years and then 30 years of refunds coming, but to understand that these are human beings, right? And where we go into, and I understand people would go like, well, I don't know if it's Jesus. There was a whole lot of people Jesus didn't heal, and they were dependent upon whatever that medical system they had in place then. They talk about the woman who was hemorrhaging. That's when they talk about her issue of blood. And we were talking about she's considered unclean, right? Because they're thinking that she's on her menstrual period. No, she was dealing with hemorrhaging. And she had, they said that she had gone to all the doctors. She had pretty much
12
exhausted,
years,
right?
wasn't it?
Exhausted all of her means. That's when you need a miracle, and I'm hoping I'm not in a situation where I need a miracle. Now, I know for some people who are professional testifiers, ain't that like a good miracle, right? Oh, that really makes that testimony go like, but you go like, wow. No, I think, and I'm more apt to listen to doctors now.
I still say that it's a Jesus intervention when you are sick and you get well, because even with the treatments that the doctors know that work, or medicine that they know that work, it necessarily don't have to work for you.
Right.
There are some situations where you have an allergic reaction to that med, or there was a problem with that surgery. So I believe in healing, that even though the doctor, you follow what the doctor say, you do all that you can do. Because like when he told the one man with the arm, he said, stretch it out, right? There is applications and things that you must do.
Of course.
And then you believe in his divine healing powers, and then you do what you have to do to stay well. So I believe that even though you get sick and you get well and you follow what the doctors do, what they do, I still believe that God has anointed it, because everybody can some people can have the same surgery, same problem you had, and they don't do as well.
And I think, and how much of that, now this is just, again, but that's kind of like random. What I mean by random is 98% of the people come in getting this treatment.
That's what they
has
say.
this result. 2% don't. Because there's an exception to just about every rule, with the exception of death.
And it's some that the doctors go, wow, you did amazing. And I just think that it's a godly intervention.
And then there's other times the doctors look like you going like, damn.
Right. How did, not what I expected.
Am I in trouble? Oh, did my face indicate?
Yeah, did that show something?
This is why I think Julia Means has one of the greatest bedside manners. We were talking about that young lady. That blood pressure was high. And Julia go, well, it's a little high. I might suggest you go see your doctor. She didn't panic.
Right now, right across the street.
Right. You're right. If you could just get across the street. But she was so cool. And I'm not a doctor. And I'm going, did I come over was that a little high?
she probably been walking around with that blood pressure
And so
like
she
that,
doesn't notice it.
that
Yeah.
she doesn't even feel it. And you want to encourage support,
Right.
and don't have them afraid to go to the doctor, but say, just say the nurse said you should check
Oh, you
this
were
out.
just
Yeah.
so smooth
Yeah.
with it.
Just-
You know, she was just like, "Oh, okay, honey. Well, it is a little high."
And then she turns around, her eyes get big, like, oh my. But
but honey, you.
yeah, like, right, hurry along, go on, hurry along.
Well, she came back because we were at the concert. She came back and she had seen her doctor.
Okay.
But it went down, but it still wasn't normal. But she was
but she wasn't heavy though. She was really
yeah,
thin.
she's heavy. She's heading the right way.
Right.
And there could be different things that are causing her blood pressure
Right,
to be
right.
elevated, and that needs to be worked up.
That aren't lifestyle related.
Yeah.
There's sometimes.
the guy with the beard, his blood pressure was okay though, right?
hmm And I was
You
shocked.
mean the
'cause
guy that
it-
wanted to talk to me?
No, there
You
was
said
no,
with the beard, or
no.
you said beard?
no, there was a couple of
there
guys
was a
there
guy
with beards.
with beard.
Beer.
Beard, BEER.
Mhm.
And Shakina told me to tell you, thank you very, very much. You made her summer.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank her for
Yeah.
having
And she
us.
really enjoyed.
Close
you.
the door.
Yeah, I still hold.
Close the
Yes.
door.
You guys were very interactive with the crowd, and that
Right.
meant a lot to the crowd. And
I
it
will
was
tell you, I had a brother, Luther Jacobs moment. Luther Jacobs Sr., he's known him all my life. He's gone on to glory, and he was one of the ushers. And so I started to do something I saw. I was really young preaching. I saw where, preachers get out there and get out the audience, right?
Mhm.
He, after service, he came up. He said, he called me Keith. That was a good message. Keep your behind in the pulpit. Debo, it was all on
Oh,
51st Street. That cordless mic.
Right.
Yeah.
the guy with the beard came up to him.
Yeah.
Debo go, hey, we gonna talk. Am I gonna be able to do this show?
Hey man, that's my cousin. I said it is. Talk to him after the show. Let's go.
We're doing the show here, man.
Right.
We're
After
doing
the show. Cool. We gotta do the show.
Oh my
Yeah.
God, but that was Debo. They was all out the audience. I
Yeah,
was
man,
going like, oh
It was
man,
so good. It was
talking
so
about
good.
interactive.
Mhm.
I hate going to events like that, and it's just dead.
Oh,
You
no,
know,
it
people
was-
just sit there. They'll just sit there and
Mhm.
look at you. Get them involved. Get them
Yeah.
going. Wake them up a
Well,
little
you
Yeah.
bit.
did.
Yeah,
So
people were
that's-
having
that's
fun.
a part of my
Mhm.
routine, if you will.
Mhm.
I want to
Oh.
share something that's kind of like what Julia said, where, you've got faith and medicine working together. So you guys know it was a year ago this next week that my son was
It's been a
hospitalized. It's
year?
been a year. And it was not looking good for a long time. And even after he was discharged, he still had in-home care. And they were preparing to do another surgery on him. And when they went to do the MRI, and to this day, he still has an MRI every month because they still can't explain this, that his specialists, his pancreatic specialist, GI doc, and pancreatic specialists around the country were like, his pancreas healed. They don't understand how that happened. They've never seen a pancreas heal itself like that. Because it was one surgery he was going to do, the other one they hadn't figured out how they were going to do it yet because it was that bad. But it did. I mean, now he got a lot of medical intervention, but you're even still got the doctor saying, I don't know what happened.
Mhm.
Well, I think that sometimes they are trying to throw against the
Mhm.
wall and see what sticks, right? I mean,
Mhm.
because you don't, and especially something maybe we haven't encountered before.
Mm-hmm.
But I could see that.
Yeah. And I mean, I'm great. Those doctors were wonderful. He had a team of 8 doctors. They worked together. You don't always see that kind of specialists working together that well. But yeah, he had both. He had God on his side, and he had those doctors working tirelessly for that time. So, and I want to say one thing before we go. Julia had a birthday on Friday of last week. So I want to wish her a happy birthday.
You born on Friday the 13th?
I wasn't born on Friday the 13th. I don't think so. But my birthday was on Friday the 13th, and I am 70 years old.
Wow.
Wow.
Great.
Look at you.
She looks
Happy
fantastic.
belated birthday.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
I'm not even gonna do what other people do. Well, you know, Tito Jackson was 70.
He was 72.
No, he was
70.
71.
Oh, he was 70?
He was born in 73 though, so he was
No,
getting
not in 73.
that's what they say.
53.
Oh, 50.
1953. Yeah, he was born in 53.
So he would have been
he
71
was
this
he
year.
was gonna be 71 like real soon. Yeah,
Okay.
something.
Yeah.
He wasn't a
I don't-
54. He wasn't a 54 baby.
He wasn't,
But he didn't look like Julian. He didn't move like Julian.
hate to put it down there, right? You know, you know how many people die at 70? Like, dude, really? It's my birthday, man.
But isn't that what we're promised biblically? 40.
Yeah. But you know what? And this is the other thing, and we should talk about this: the aging of boomers.
Yeah.
Yes.
And I'm gonna be emceeing a program where there are 1590 plus
Uh-huh.
individuals,
Uh-huh.
and they're not. I mean, they're functioning,
Uh-huh.
driving,
Mhm.
still doing what they're doing. So that's kind of going out the window now.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm on the tail end of the boomers.
Yeah.
But I look at my father, who you'd think he was 60 years old if you met him. I mean, the man is busy, looks good. You'd never have a clue.
My mama's 90, just
Right,
turned,
that-
Mhm.
would be like her.
and you just obviously everything. You know, her memory, but everything else. She's
We gotta wrap up, guys.
All right.
All right.
Thank
well,
you.
let me thank Michelle. Michelle, thank you for covering me. That's why I love you so much. Debo, Carvey. Come on, Debo, let's not. We wait till tomorrow. Julia, thank you. Brenda, thank you. Callers, we thank you.
Yeah.
I got a Kanita reached out.
And,
All right.
And is Carvey going to get his flu shot? He said he would afterwards.
You get the flu shot, Carvey? Yeah,
All right.
yeah.
Woo.
He said, yeah,
Okay.
let's. Yeah, you said, yeah.
Ah, okay. All
Hey, the
right.
good Lord willing, Creek don't rise. Hope to talk to everybody tomorrow. And as always, go from this place in peace. Don't run off, Carvey.